yo, it's your boy Jay Bessie and boy Jared, and welcome back to the Straight to the Point podcast, season 3, episode 35. On today's episode, we'll be talking about probably the most breaking news of all time, all right, with Luka Doncic's trade to Los Angeles. And then following that, we're going to talk about Myles Garret in the NFL, who requested to be traded, and also the Rams, who will be trading Kupp, all right. And then our Super Bowl episode will be this Friday, featuring me, Jared, and Tyrell. All right. But before I get into any of that, as always, I want to thank God for waking me up this morning, waking us up this morning, allowing us to talk about sports, and something that we love to do. And without him, we would not be here right now. Jared, you ready to go?
As always.
All right, let's get it started with probably the biggest blockbuster trade probably in NBA history. All right, trade that sent Luka Doncic to LA and Anthony Davis to Dallas. All right, Luka. This trade included Luka, Maxi Kleber, Markieff Morris to LA, and then Dallas received Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a 2029 first round pick. So, Jared, what is your reaction to this blockbuster trade?
It was business. It was strictly business, but it was the wrong business. They traded Luka Doncic clearly because they didn't want to pay him the supermax, which meaning that this is your guy for the foreseeable future. Now, whether they thought he was their guy or not, I'm not sure. All I know is they didn't want to pay him what the supermax was, and to me, that's fine. If that's your reason for trading him, go somewhere else. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of options. If you called all 29 other teams in the NBA about Luka Doncic, I guarantee you, with at least 25 to 24 teams, you will find a suitable trade partner. I guarantee it's Luka Doncic. He's one of the best players, if not the best, in the league when he's on the court. He is young still, and he just took y'all to a final. So anybody will give up their star for Luka Doncic. But you traded for Anthony Davis, he's old in his own right. Yes, he's a good player when on the court, when available, but he's older. I believe he's like 30, 31 years old. So you don't have him for that long. And for what you're trying to accomplish, you're in so-called win now mode. I don't think your team is good enough, although you have Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving, to go and win something right now. So you traded Luka Doncic away. You have older Kyrie, you have Anthony Davis, and then you still have role players, PJ Washington, you have Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford, Klay Thompson. That just doesn't sound like a championship team to me. It just doesn't. Now, I might be wrong, but I don't think I am. The only good thing about this trade is it's going to be very hard for teams to stop Anthony Davis now. Your big's not guarding Anthony Davis anymore. That bigger body on the court's not guarding Anthony Davis anymore. Now he gets to return back to his normal position, power forward. And so now your four is trying to guard Anthony Davis. And a lot of people's power forwards nowadays are smaller, taller, smaller people who can shoot and play the perimeter and play perimeter defense. Anthony Davis doesn't just play on the perimeter, though. Anthony Davis can post you up down low, hit you with a good post move. So that is a good thing about the trade. But just the fact that you sent Luka in exchange for Anthony Davis, I don't get that. Like sending him to the Lakers, that's not my concern. It's just the fact of what you got in return for it. You didn't get a future. You got a now. So if you don't win now, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, when I first heard this news, I was actually chilling, not doing anything, and one of my close friends, Jalen, called me. I was like, "Hey man, you saw the Lakers trade?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Lakers traded. Like just go look it up. Look it up." I looked it up. I see Luka Doncic's name, and I'm like, "Okay, this is fake. Somebody, somebody done put this out there. It's fake." Then my phone started ringing while I'm on call, and you was calling me. And I was like, "Oh yeah, that got to be real." I think Luka is in LA. All right. So first of all, before I talk about Luka going to LA, 80, it was fun. What a ride. All right, my Lakers fandom
Who freaking who?
began. What is the problem? Why can't I pay the man
You
to
know,
description?
we don't. Nobody want to hear this sad old goodbye, good written speech.
I just want to say,
Nobody.
I
We'll hear
just
you
want
thank the man for all he's done. He got you one championship. Move on. It's
one
okay. Move on.
championship,
Move on.
one
Move
championship.
on.
That's what he gonna say. One championship.
Move
That's all
on.
he gonna
That's
say.
what he
That's all
got
he
you.
gonna say.
That's what he got you.
Exactly,
One championship.
exactly. A
Move
championship. That means
on.
something. That
Move
means
on.
something. All right.
Move
He
on. It's okay.
began.
Move on.
He began my Lakers fan though, because at the time, mind you, I was supporting LeBron at Cleveland. Then I supported LeBron in LA. Then my second favorite player, Anthony Davis, gets traded to LA. And I'm like, you know what? Hey, I might as well become a Lakers fan. Right? So Lakers fan, it was fun. AD and Bron, my favorite duo of all time, is never gonna change. All right. So this trade happens, and now you know I'm the conductor of the Luka train. You know that I am the ambassador for the Luka Doncic kingdom, right? And this move happened, so now my future goat is with Nico. So everything is just falling in my look. God must really love him some J Best because everything is just falling in my hands, and I ain't doing nothing, right? Everything just happened to me, all right. But for the Lakers side of it, look, you just got who I believe is, like I just said, future GOAT. I believe he's the best player in the league right now, and he will be the best player for the next 10 years. I honestly believe that. And the Mavericks, I don't think they understand what they just did. Like, I think that their GM is looking at it like, okay, I got Anthony Davis, right? We got Kyrie Irving, we got Klay Thompson. We're really good. But look at what you just lost. You just lost a generational talent. You just lost a man that a year ago just took your team to the finals. And of course, he met David McGoliath, right? It was just too much. But your guy got you to the finals at 25. At 25 years old, you know he has 5 first team All NBA selections. You know who doesn't have 5 first team All NBA selections? Steph Curry. You know that, right? Like this is
Why are
a
you taking shots? Why are
I'm,
you
I
taking
could, I'm letting you know what level he's on. Like he's up here. All right. You just got rid of a guy who averaged the second most points in the playoffs in history. Behind Michael Jordan. Only 2 players average over 30 points in playoff history. Him and Michael Jordan. Michael Jeffrey Jordan, who you believe is the GOAT. Right? Like, that's who you just got rid of. And you didn't get crap back for. Like, you got Anthony Davis. I believe Anthony Davis is still an all-star in this league. I believe Anthony Davis is a top 10, back-end top 10 player in this league. He just had 40 and 20 a couple of nights ago, right? So you know his abilities. But that's still not enough for what you just gave up, right? And I get it. You in win now mode because you better not fall short of the finals. You better get back to the finals. That's all I got to say. Because you with Luka, you got to the finals. So your floor is finals. To solidify this move, you have to get to the finals. Whether you win it or not, that's one thing. But you have to get back there. You cannot fall short because we're gonna always say the year after this man took you to the finals, you traded him and then got worse. Right? So the pressure is on for Dallas. And do they have the team to make a little run? Sure. Their team look bad to me. Kyrie, Klay, AD, and then you also had, like you said, Dale Gafford, Derek Lively, PJ Washington, right? You have pieces. Can you make it work is the question. But the only problem is one wrong step from AD might be out for the rest of the year.
You know that all too well, huh?
I know it all too well. You never
All
know.
too well.
With Kyrie Irving, Kyrie ain't not no injury-free person either. He injury prone too. So if you gonna tell me that, hey, we traded Luka because we worried about injury history and his conditioning, this, that, and another. You just traded for somebody that is what they call him. They call him in street clothes. That's what they call Anthony Davis. They call him street clothes. That's who you traded for. So if you dodge the bullet, you just traded for a bigger bullet. Cause this guy stay on the sideline. Right? So there's nothing to justify what you did other than going to the finals this year. That's the only way you can justify this move, is getting back to the finals. But for LA, you just got to start for the next 10 years. Mind you, LeBron about to leave, maybe not after this year, but after next year, or the year after that, maybe 2 years max, I would say. And then it's the Luka show. It's the Luka show right now. This is the first time LeBron's been on a team where he's not the best player. And it's no debate. Like with Anthony Davis, there was a debate, right? It was supposed to be AD. AD was supposed to be the guy, but LeBron still outperformed him, right? In Miami, we know LeBron was better than D-Wade. In Cleveland, we know LeBron was better than Kyrie. But there's no question about this one, buddy. There's no question. Luka is 100% on this.
Rob Pelinka, you're not done.
I think he is done. I think he's already. I think he's come out and he said that it's going to be very hard for him to make a trade to get a valuable big man right now. I think his moves are going to come
Hey,
through
hey,
after this
you
season.
better call Portland. I heard they taking all they want is a first round for Robert Williams.
That would be a good, but can he go on the floor? I didn't even see him on the floor for Portland this year.
Hey, I mean, it's a look. You have nobody right now. It's
You're right, so I have nobody right now, so I'm gonna trade for nobody because this guy can't get on the court. Like
this is, but like you just said, it's gonna be hard to get somebody else. This is a freebie, a first round, a future first round pick. That's all they want.
that is very true, and this could be just for next year, right? I don't think because of how this right, like LeBron and Luka, it look good up top, and even Austin Reeves. But once you keep going, it's a drop off. Like we talking
Yeah,
about Dorian
it's
Finney-Smith,
been a drop off the whole season. I've been trying to tell you.
Jackson, but that's the thing though. With AD, you had that paint presence, you had that rim protector. So I believe with AD, this team was better than it is with Luka, only because of the defensive side. Like AD gave you that rim protector, and that can also have 40 on the other end. Like Luka not gonna give you nothing on defense. We know this, right?
No
And you
way.
don't have you don't have a big. So it's hard for me to say this team is better now. I mean, you just add the best player in the world. Of course, you got better. But in terms of competing, I could see the Lakers better off competing with the team they had prior to the trade than after, just because of the presence of a healthy Anthony Davis versus you adding Luka to this team. Now, moving forward, add some bigs this offseason, right? If you can, then this team won't be money next year. Because any team that Luka is on has the potential to make a run. We saw it last year. He can drag a team to the championship. So do you think this team has a high ceiling this year or just moving forward?
If you make another trade,
So
if you
depending on
get
what
a big,
happens.
if you get a big man, you should be looking at going to the finals. There's no reason why you shouldn't. You have Luka Doncic and LeBron James. There's no reason why you shouldn't be looking at it. I'm sorry, like Luka and LeBron, y'all should be able to beat Oklahoma. You really should.
Yes, 100. percent
You should be able to beat Denver if you get a big man. You should be able to beat without a big man. You can beat the Rockets because you have Luka and LeBron right now.
I think you need
So
a big. I think you need a big to beat OKC too, though. I think you still need a big.
yeah. No, I was saying those the first thing I was saying with the big,
Yeah,
but it's just like I said. Look, man, call Robert Williams. Hopefully he can. You gotta hope he can stay. You gotta hope Anthony Davis can stay healthy.
that's
So, and mind you, he was on the squad when the Celtics went to the finals the first time and they lost to Steph Curry. He was a big piece. Interior glass cleaner. Rebounds, blocks, all his. Go
yeah.
make that call, Rob. Go make that call. Because if not, this is you can't just waste a year and say maybe next year. LeBron is on his way out. I don't know how much longer the man can drop 30-point triple doubles. I don't know. So I think you need to make the most of this opportunity right now while he still gives you some juice alongside Luka Doncic. But it's okay.
Yeah.
Dallas
This
done messed
year,
up now.
real quick. This year, actually, bump this year from 2023 to now, right? So the past 2 years, Robert Williams has played 23 games. Like that's like that he started in 3 of them. Like you gotta get on the court eventually. For me to have faith that I'm gonna trade the first round pick for. I mean the first round pick, woohoo, like it's what 2030, something like that. So I mean, hey, you and win now anyways, you got Luka Doncic. This is not a
Exactly.
repeat. So I mean you might as well, but is he gonna be on the court is the question. But you
Hey
said
man,
why you say the Dallas Mavericks messed up?
because you played with this man's money. Okay. I saw something like he's making like around like 39 million less. Don't get me wrong, he's still gonna make a lot of money. But he's not a super max player anymore because he got traded. Because it's something that's out of his control.
Yep.
He's gonna show y'all why I should have kept him and paid him that money. He's been going that James Harden run that we saw when Harden was in Houston. He was averaging 40 over the course of those games.
He said find a way to bring Mr. James Harden back
You found a way to bring in Steph Curry. Like,
I was just showing you that he has more all pros. That's pretty
and
impressive.
I was showing you that Luka had the potential to go on that run that James Harden went on.
That's pretty impressive for somebody who said that's the greatest point guard of all time. For me to have more all pros than you, it's just pretty impressive, right?
Hey, how many rings you got? How many rings you got?
All right, that's what we're gonna
How
do.
many rings you got? You
That's
can
a
count all pro. The last time I checked, I'm pretty sure there's a quarterback in the league that got more all pros than Patrick Mahomes. There's quarterbacks, there's all time great quarterbacks that have more all pros than Tom Brady.
man's
How many
25.
rings you got?
Man's 25
How many
years.
rings you got?
Give him a chance. He's been the one
How many
final.
rings you got?
Give him a chance. All right. But to comment one more time on the Mavericks, look, I think y'all about to look at me sideways a little bit about my morals and everything like that. But there is no problem that is bigger than Luka Doncic's talent. Whatever was going on behind the scenes with Luka in Dallas, nothing was too big to solve because he's Luka Doncic. I'm not saying let him just walk all over again. I'm not saying all that, but whatever the problem was, we're gonna figure this out as best as we possibly can before I even think about trading. And if I do trade you, like you said, you could have called 29 teams and they would have gave you a better package. Not saying AD wasn't a good package, but they would have gave you a better package that would have lasted you longer than what AD gonna last
Yeah. It's a lot to the story, man. Like I heard that Luca was unhappy that they got rid of most of the staff from last year. Like there's a lot of things to the story. And I think that as time goes on, we'll figure out more. But Donkey of the Day definitely goes to the Dallas Mavericks GM.
you.
They found a way to he found a way to spare Jerry Jones. I think Jerry Jones got something to do with this. He paid the man off so take some of the heat off of Jerry. Jerry just made that dumb head coaching move. He paid the man, hey, take some heat off of me.
Hey man, something in the air in Dallas. It needs to be studied. Dallas
Stupidity.
needs to be studied. Dallas needs to be studied. All right, but let's go, and we're gonna be talking about the NBA a lot more, especially after the Super Bowl. Let's go ahead and move over back to the NFL, and let's talk about Myles Garrett, who just came out and requested a trade after 8 seasons in Cleveland. He said he wants to win. He made it very simple. He wants to win. So Jarrett, um, who should go get, like, forget the money, forget that. Who really needs Myles Garrett? Who should really go and get Myles Garrett?
I say Detroit go get him.
And are you? But let me ask this question: in this trade, are you trading any players, or is it just
Give up a lot of picks, and then
just
I
picks?
think
Okay,
that
okay.
there's some players that are talented but expendable on their roster that y'all can get rid of. So, but I'm not gonna lie, Lions, you go get him, you pair him up with Aiden Hutchinson, that's a problem. That's a problem that I don't think nobody in the NFC can solve. So the Lions go and get him. That would be nice. But I'm proud of Myles Garrett, man. I really am. It's not too often where like you have a case like Tyreek Hill, who a couple years ago he just wanted to be paid. He wanted to be paid what he thought his worth was. He went to the Miami Dolphins. You left the Super Bowl winning team, went to Miami Dolphins. We see what happened. So not a lot of players anymore chase rings and chase winning. Like this is positive ring chasing. A lot of people criticize ring chasing, but this is, I mean, you're Myles Garrett. You're a pretty good football player. You know, we might dog you out from time to time, but that's just because of how you get compared to TJ Watt. But hey, you're a good football player and you deserve to win something. You know, it might not be a Super Bowl, but you deserve to at least be in the running for a Super Bowl. And that's not gonna happen in Cleveland. Cleveland needs to they need a rebuild. It's about time to you need a rebuild, blow up the operation. And this is perfect though. Like Myles Garrett, of course, he senses that they need a rebuild. He doesn't want to be a part of a rebuild. He wants to go win football games now, which is perfect for me because now I can get future compensation, get a bunch of first, second round picks. Hey, it hurts that he has to leave, but he's not getting any younger. He's not going to be around long term for this rebuild. So get rid of him. Go ahead and get a lot of compensation. I will say, like I said, the Lions because they're an NFC team. I wouldn't trade him in conference. I wouldn't, just because I wouldn't want him down the line to come back and hunt me in the playoffs or anything like that, or make a team that I'm competing against, make them any better. I just wouldn't do that. But I could definitely see him going to the Lions or a big one. I say Chicago. Chicago, go ahead and get him there. Their offense is already established, We know what they have to work with on offense. You can boost up that defense, help out Caleb Love a little bit, help him take less stress off of him. Because Myles Garrett, he's a game changer. He wrecks plays. You know, it might not show up on the stats all the time, but he does change the game of football. And it makes it a lot easier for your offense because of the type of plays that he makes. He gets you back to football. He gets the other team's offense off the field. So I do think that Chicago or the Lions should definitely make that phone call and try and get him. But congratulations, Myles Garrett. I'm proud of you, man.
All right. Me personally, I think this is a no-brainer, and I think there's a team that really needs to go all in and make this move happen. Just last week, we had a conversation about a team where I look across that D line and I can't find a person that's gonna make that play on third down, that's gonna make that play on fourth down. We just talked about this last week, and just so happens there's a guy available. Do what you gotta do. Now I don't know if y'all got the money to pay him. I don't know, but Buffalo, you got to make this call. Now you just alluded to the fact that they shouldn't trade him within the conference, right? I believe that 100%. But the only reason I have a little pushback against that is because the Browns aren't, like you said, they need to rebuild. So if I do trade you in the conference, you ain't gonna hurt me that bad because I'm already in the rebuild. You see what I'm saying? So I could see him getting traded within the conference. We saw Tyreek Hill get traded within the conference. I mean, it's kind of apples and oranges, right? Edge rushing receiver, but I've seen big players get traded within the conference. Buffalo, you gotta throw everything you can to go and get Myles Garrett. Who is the hump that you cannot get over? Is Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. That's the only team that you can't beat. I'm confident if you play against the Ravens. I'm somewhat confident you play against the Bengals in the playoffs. Somewhat. There's only one team that you literally cannot beat in the playoffs, and this Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And this is to me a recipe for success. If you get a guy that can disrupt the game, a guy that if Josh Allen goes up and it's a minute left and Mahomes got the ball, this is a guy that can get that strip sack. This is the guy that can cause that pressure that causes a bad throw maybe. This is a guy that can wreck a game. And Buffalo does not have that, unfortunately. So to me, this is what's gonna make them a Super Bowl contender. If they go and get Myles Garrett, I will come out here first day it happened and say this team is automatically going to the Super Bowl. I will say it because this is what they don't have, and they haven't had it. Ever since they've been losing to Mahomes, they've never had a guy on that D line that we say, "Oh wow," they don't. Even the Chiefs have somebody on the D line that's gonna make a play. Chris Jones, they have a guy, right? This team don't, and I believe that this move will get them to where they need to get. Keep the offense the same. Now, if you got to lose a couple offensive pieces for the trade, like I said, I don't know what the trade would be. Theoretically, I think it'll just be like a bunch of first round picks. And plus, you're a really good team, so your pick gonna be late anyways, right? So I mean, I'm not really trying to hang on. I mean, it's different from the NBA, but I'm not really worried. I know I'm not gonna be a top 10 pick. Not for a fact. We're gonna always be in that 26, 28 to 32 range, always. And I want to be picked 32. And in order to do that, you gotta go make this move. Period. Or if you don't do it, you definitely trade it for an edge rusher, but you have to have a star on that D line. Something that you've been lacking over the past couple of years. And something that I think will get you over the hump for sure. But I like your pick too. I like your pick too with the Lions.
Also, another that just came to my mind is another team we talked about last week, whose defense struggled. Defense couldn't help out their rookie quarterback. Commanders.
Commanders, yep.
Y'all don't have a player on the defensive line like that. Y'all have to put on your defense like that. Make it a lot easier for your quarterback.
Yeah. So that is
Go help out that defense. We told y'all what their defense ranked in turnovers and in scoring points. That's a problem. So the fact that your offense is already established, don't touch your offense. Go get Myles Garrett. And mind you, like I said, those are teams that I know if I'm the Cleveland Browns. But like you said, because you're in a rebuild, by the time you're ready to maybe win something, Myles Garrett will be on his way out the door.
Should
not already gone. So I do, like you said, if I'm the Browns, I still trade him to the NFC, but hey, Commanders, Lions, Bears, shoot your shot, man. Call your shot.
Now the team that's gonna mess around and do it is you know who.
I know you ain't saying who I think you saying.
You know a team that will not hesitate to pull this trigger. What's the
I,
asking price? We got it, and we'll give it to you. We don't care. You know who that
if
is.
this team has that asking price, they need to be investigated.
They had the picks, and do they? And I think the money would line up because they yes they paid Jalen Hurts. They're paying everybody. You're right. I don't know how the money gonna line up.
They need to be investigated. Unless Myles Garrett is willing to take a pay cut, which, hey,
He could. I
if you
think he's up
concerned about
for.
if you're so concerned about winning football games, hey, I'll take that pay cut. All the greats used to, the great quarterbacks used to do it. Ben, Brady, all of them used to do it. They already got their bags. You already got your bag, I'm pretty sure.
And real
Take that
quick,
pay cut.
and we're talking about the Eagles for those of y'all who don't know what we're talking about. But this is just a couple of teams this is a couple of trade packages that I just looked up real quick before we move on to the next topic. The Lions was number one, a 2025 first round pick and a 2026 first round pick for Myles Garrett. The Commanders, number two, um, 2025 first round pick, 2026 first round pick, and Deron Payne, a D lineman for Myles Garrett. And then number three is the New England Patriots. The Browns would get the first round pick this year, the fourth pick overall, and the 2026 pick, 2026 second round pick. Because that pick so high, that fourth pick so high, it'll be just 2026 second round pick for Myles Garrett. So, I mean, but you want to win, I don't think you want to go to New England yet. New England is on its way. It's on,
If I'm Cleveland, I don't care what you want. Like, I'm
Well,
doing
that's
what's
true.
best for
I
my
think they
team.
have control. They have full control of where he will go. So I mean, to me, if I'm Cleveland, I'm gonna do you a service because you've been with this team since day one. You know what I'm saying? You've been through the struggle. You watched us make the worst trade of all time with Deshaun Watson. You know what I'm saying? So and you stayed here and you went through it a little bit. So who knows? Maybe they will cater to him. Maybe they won't. But that's a trade request. Look, the Rams said, "Hey, we don't care what you want. We traded you." Cooper Kupp came out and said that he wants to retire a Ram, and the Rams said, "I don't care. We're trading you. All right. We'll do the same thing we did a couple minutes ago." Jared, who do you think is a good landing spot for Cooper Kupp?
My honest opinion, a great landing spot for Cooper Cup. It just have to be. I don't want to like make it so easy, but my pick right now, no, because they do have a wide receiver one. So that does change things a little bit. They do have a wide receiver one, but hey, man, with that sign behind you say, with the little flag behind me say,
Pittsburgh.
why not? You need somebody if you're going to keep George Pickens. This is a perfect compliment to George Pickens. Like I've seen things where it says we're very interested in getting T. Higgins and giving him an offer. We're so interested that we'll pay more than we're willing to pay Brandon Ayuk. But this is a perfect compliment. On the other side of that deep threat, why not have a guy that can run every route on the route tree? Every single route on the route tree. I mean, there was talks before the trade deadline that we were interested in trading for him. So go ahead, hey Omar, make the call. Do what you got to do. I'm pretty sure the asking price isn't so much. It can't be. There's no way. Look at his age. Look at
And his
the injury
injury.
history.
Exactly. Yeah.
Look
That's
at
it.
that. You can't be asking for you. I know you're not asking for a first round pick. You can't be. You're definitely not. If I pick up the phone to talk about Cooper Cup and you say anything about a first round pick, I'm hanging the phone up in your face because I'm just not doing that for a guy he has more years behind him than in front of him, and his injury history. With that, he definitely has more years behind him than in front of him. He can't stay healthy. I don't know last time he's played a full season. I think last time he played a full season when he was Triple Crown winner. It's the last time he played a full season. I don't like that. So if I am the Steelers, I'll be willing to I'll give you next year second and this year third. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. But like any team that needs another weapon, pull the trigger. Go ahead. Now, mind you, us giving up, not don't give up your first round pick, but now we can use that first round pick. You need a lineman. Go get a lineman or a corner. Pick your poison. Lineman or a corner. Pick your poison. Cooper Kupp, like you say, he's older, but that also helps with receiver. So now you can let a Van Jefferson go who needs a contract. Let a Mike Williams go who needs a contract. Now we're not so worried about bringing all these players back because we have a Cooper Kupp, and it helps out your overall offense, help out the offensive line. You'll be solid. So I really do think that the Pittsburgh Steelers should go ahead and pull the trigger. Hey man, I don't see why not.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad. I don't think that's a bad spot. I think for one, Hooper Cup 31, right? Turns 32 in June. Like
Jesus,
this is a guy.
Jesus, I'm calling in July about a trade for him.
This is a guy that if you want to trade for Cooper Cup, you better be in win now. Like next year, like 2025 or 2026, you looking at a Super Bowl. That's like, for example, Myles Garret is 29, but he's an edge rusher. Edge rushers last longer, especially edge rushers that don't have big injury history. Like Myles Garrett don't have no big injuries that I remember, right? So he can last longer. So he can go to a Commanders team that might not win it all next year, but the after that they definitely looking to win it all. Like he can waste a year with a team. Cooper Cup, you got to go somewhere that's ready now because you don't got that much longer, buddy. For one, like you said, age, and one, like you said, injury. For me, I could easily go back to the well and say the Bills because to me, if I'm a team with a guy like that, I'm going all in. I'm getting anything I can possibly get, right? So it could be the Bills, but I'm gonna change it up, and I'm going Cincinnati. Are you going to lose T Higgins? And if you are going to lose T Higgins, then bring Cooper Cup right in to pair right beside Jamar Chase. Cooper Cup and Jamar Chase. Who says no? Right? I think any team that, like I said, is in win now, which are the Bengals, basically any team that has a QB1 that is like that should be looking to get Cooper Cup. Josh Allen and the Bills, Joe Burrow and the Bengals. I wouldn't. I just can't see Lamar throwing to a Cooper Cup. Like I just can't. Like you know what I'm saying. Like we need somebody that's gonna air it. Right, y'all need to get back to y'all's ground and pound with Derrick Henry. We don't need y'all. What's the point of having Cooper Cup? That's a waste of trading me. You don't need nobody that's gonna be out there like that. So that's me personally. I think the Bengals should definitely go out after Cooper Cup. But just like I did with the Myles Garrett, I'm gonna look at this is six logical landing spots for him. The Commanders is one, right? That's a team that once again got elite quarterback, found their guy. The Texans, that's the team that they said should look at him. The Ravens, of course, they said they should look at him. Like I said, I just don't think he fits that offense. And then Cincinnati, that's a good spot. The Bills, and then somebody said Jacksonville. But to me, Jacksonville not ready to win.
They
So
have way too many problems. But no, I was while you were sitting there talking about the Bengals, I was thinking about the Texans. Cut your losses. Stephon Diggs, you gotta go. That's fine. Uh, Trade for Cooper Cup. I mean, or you could bring back Stephon Diggs and get a Cooper Cup. I mean, both of them shouldn't be looking for a. Mind you, Cooper Cup's already under contract because it's a trade. Stephon Diggs, you just got hurt.
mm-hmm.
You got to take whatever contract I give you. Mind you, we don't know when Tank Dell's coming back and if he comes back, if he'll be the same. We don't know any of this. Imagine having Nico on one outside, Cooper Cup on one outside, Stephon Diggs in the slot. That's scary. But I will say that them talking about a trade for Cooper Cup probably means that they're expecting the Texans to lose Stephon Diggs, which would make sense. He's getting older, big injury. So it makes sense, but I definitely think that giving CJ Stroud another weapon, mind you, like CJ Stroud, he can make any throw on the field.
Yeah.
He has that type of arm talent. So any route that Cooper Cup runs, he can deliver that throw. But I mean, I don't know because if you're the Rams, like we said, so like we talked about teams that should get him. But my question is, if you're the Rams and you're not in a win now situation. clearly, if you're trading away Cooper Kupp, right? Because if anything, you should be wanting to build the team stronger with Cooper Kupp if you're in a win now situation. But you can't be if you're getting rid of Cooper Kupp unless you think that Cooper Kupp's just not the same. I mean, we've seen games where down the stretch where he had 2 targets. One of them games he had 0 catches. But I still think that's just he still draws attention. He draws a crowd. Every time that y'all break the huddle, they're identifying where Cooper Kupp is. So trading away Cooper Kupp, like we said, he's getting older. He has injury history, so you're not going to get so much back for him, or nothing with a lot of worth, a lot of value, like a first round pick. So where are you trying to go from here? Matthew Stafford's not getting any younger. Your defense has some attention that you need to pay attention to. So where are you going with this if you're the Rams?
It depends on what they're trying to do. Like if Stafford comes back, then you're automatically in win now. Like I don't see why you would bring Stafford back if you're not in win now mode, because you need to find your next guy, right? Your next QB. And the defense. We saw them take strides at the end of the year, so I can only assume that's going to carry over into next year. And on top of that, who are you drafting first round? Like it's a lot of questions that need to be answered before we can figure out what direction they're going in. Because if Stafford coming back, then it would make sense to keep Cooper Kupp. But I could see why they like, you know what, Coop, you stay hurt a little bit too much. So we're gonna see if we can get something for you, right? And try to replace you, because they still got potential in the wide receiver room outside Cooper Kupp and Puka. Because you still got Puka Nicole. Like we have to realize that. You got Puka Nicole.
Yes.
And with him, he could elevate these guys like DeMarcus Robinson. Not saying he's all that, but besides Cooper Kupp, he's nice. You got guys like Tutu
Will Jordan Humphrey.
We just laughing because of his name. Stop it. But Tutu Atwell, he's nice beside a Puka. Like you have a top 5 receiver in my opinion. Puka to me is top 5. You have a top 5 receiver. So the guys around him and his Sean McVay scheme on top of that, and you got Kyron Williams at the running back position. So if I can get a second round pick for Cooper Kupp, I'm gonna try and draft a receiver, a nice receiver, in that second round pick maybe. Right? It depends on what they do in the draft.
That's a waste. That's a waste. Like, why not just keep Cooper Kupp then? You're going to trade for a second round receiver. We don't know what type of impact he's going to bring immediately. You're right. Matthew Stafford, you need immediate impact. And like I said, there's still question marks on your defense.
There's questions that I believe can be addressed. Mind you, still got a full free agency to go through. But I think we just have to see what moves they make to determine what they're trying to do, because you said just bring back Cooper Kupp, but I think that they're at the point where Coop, you can't stay healthy, bro. And if we trying to look at what they had to do last year, right? Of course, Puka got hurt first, but then Cooper got hurt again. Like Cooper is the constant.
That's because Puka got hurt. When Puka got hurt, that next game, I saw Matthew Stafford look at nobody else but Cooper Kupp.
And I believe
he ran that man into the ground.
I believe he got that. I think the first game he got ran to the ground because he had double-digit catches the first game. Because Cooper got hurt. But then that second game, I think is when Cooper got hurt.
Yes, because you ran him into the ground.
And I need a reliable number 2 to where, because Puka played his whole first full year. His first year he played the full year. The second year he got hurt. So let's just hope he's not injury prone. What if Puka Nicole injury prone? I need a second receiver. I can't keep dragging myself out of being 1-5 every year and drag myself back into the playoffs. Like I said,
so you're trading away a win now receiver for a future. Yes.
For a
with Matthew Stafford.
The receiver, but that's the question too. I just saw something that said
with this move, you better go get T. Higgins. With this move, you better call up T. Higgins and say, hey man, come on to LA.
Like I said though, I just saw something that said, are the Rams moving on from Matthew Stafford? Like I think there's questions that they don't like. Even I read a report that Sean McVay was basically asking Matthew Stafford, look, we need to know now. Are you hanging it up or are you not? So we need to know so we can know what to do. Like, don't lead me on to you think you're coming back and then right before the season start.
Are there signs of him like retiring? I don't get that vibe. I don't. Like
I don't
playing high level football still.
I don't either. But
he's 2 blocks away from potentially going to the NFC Championship. Literally 2 plays. Y'all have Jalen Carter on an island. You left your guard on the island with Jalen Carter. We saw that turned out. You are two double teams away from potentially going to the NFC Championship.
See it right here. Former Lions QB Matthew Stafford predicted to be replaced in a surprise move. I don't know what this team is doing, but
Jeez.
I trust it with Sean McVay. I trust it with Puka Nakua, Kyron Williams, that D line. I trust it that whatever move they make, they can still get back to the playoffs. Period. Because if there's anybody I trust with a young quarterback, a rookie QB, it'll be Sean. So we just got to see what moves they make to determine what direction they're going in. Because I couldn't tell you right now. All right, but it's pretty sad that this man said he want to stay with y'all. They said, nah, bro,
They said we do not care.
we do not care.
We do
You're
not care. And then I can only imagine how Puka Nakua feels about this.
that too. That too. But it's a business. The way we opened the show, what did you say? You said it's a business.
It's a business.
It's a
Sometimes business can get ugly.
You're right. But that is it for today's episode of Straight to the Point podcast. All right. You will see us on Friday for the Super Bowl episode. We going down to NOLA. And we about to see. And we about to see what's about to happen. You're gonna see me and Tyler. The first time all three of us have ever been on the same episode. You're gonna see that. And I also have a little treat for y'all throughout the episode. We're gonna have little Super Bowl commercials. All right, y'all will see that when we get to Friday. All right, but that is it for Straight to the Point podcast. Your boy Jared, your boy Jay Best. Y'all stay blessed, stay safe. We out.